Hey, everybody, it's Steve, and I wonder what you've been listening to lately. What music, what podcasts, what people. And, when I was a kid, we listened to radio, old fashioned radio, AM and FM. We all still listen to a very, very popular radio station these days, and it is radio station WIIFM. WIIFM stands for What's in It for Me. Marketers know this sort of a question, and if you're a preacher, then you ought to be asking this question in terms of your audience. What are they going to receive if they engage in your message? And in every conversation that we have, really, I hope there's something in it for the person I'm conversing with, and that something reciprocal happens that's really good. Many times, when we are listening to a person's heart, we're going to learn that there's either great joy or great pain, and it's going to revolve around one of these areas in what we call the wheel of life. The wheel of life just represents 8 key categories of life. And when you're feeling really high and things are going well and moving forward, rolling along, it's going to be because probably one of these areas is going well. And when you're hurting, then one or more of these areas frequently is leaving you feeling deflated and discouraged, disappointed. And so here's a story about a person in the scriptures that was dealing with some powerful and painful areas in his own wheel of life. And now you're getting Pastor Steve a little bit together here. So, with your permission, just a little conversation around my favorite story of an encounter between someone and Jesus. And here it says, Then they came to Jericho as Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city. A blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus stopped and said, Call him. So they called to the blind man, Cheer up, on your feet. He's calling you. Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and he came to Jesus. What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him. The blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. Go, said Jesus. Your faith has healed you. And immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. May God add his blessing to the reading of his word. And now I'd like to just unpack it a little bit with you and note that in the Message version, the paraphrase says Jesus stopped in his tracks. I love that. Here is the pain of a blind beggar, powerful enough to stop Jesus in his tracks. That's who he is. And I love how the translation says, they called him and said, It's your lucky day. Get up. And it had nothing to do with luck. It was about the goodness of God, the power of God, the timing of God, an encounter with him. And so I want to apply this to the wheel of life. There's something in your life. There are many things that are bringing you great joy, and I hope you will pause and stop and savor those things and give thanks and thank not only God for those blessings you enjoy, but also the people who are responsible for contributing to these areas of your life. I hope that you'll have eyes to see and that you'll stop and savor, slow down and savor. But many times there's pain, there's heartache, there's problems, and so what do we do with that? And the miracle question asked by Jesus to Bartimaeus, I think would be amazing for you to ask yourself or picture him asking you, what do you want me to do for you? What? What specifically? Some of us have dreams, some of us have yearnings, some of us have needs, and we've long since given up asking God for a miracle because it just hasn't happened. And we've gotten discouraged and we've learned how to accept reality for what it is. And sometimes we obviously need to do that. We need to learn how to sort of persevere and be content with the reality of what God has for us. But sometimes we also need to remember that He says, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, and knock and the door will be open to you. And sometimes James says, you have not because you ask not. It doesn't mean that you'll always get or I'll always get what I ask for, but we are challenged by this question. What do you want me, specifically, what do you want me to do for you? And then I love it. What do you want me to do for you? Not what should you want, not, what ought you to want. What do you want me to do for you? There's something about your heart's desire that matters to Him. What do you want me to do for you is the question. Not what can you do in your own strength, not, what are your New Year's resolutions or what is your SMART goal. It's what do you want me to do? And I think there's a place for a God-sized answer. We may get disappointed. We may not get what we ask for, but let's give ourselves permission to ask. And finally, what do you want me to do for you? Not for the more deserving or for the less fortunate. Bartimaeus was the less fortunate. What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asks. And I just want to encourage you to ponder this question because it's a miracle question. It's a permission giving, mind blowing, faith stretching question. It'll merely ask us, is God good? Is God able? And He is good. He is able. He may say no, but ask. I love Psalm 37:4, and it takes me back to this precious verse. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Oh, He's not a genie. I can't make demands. He's not working for me. I'm working for Him. But I love these scriptures that He gives us. I love them, and I love them for you. So it takes me to what a coaching conversation is, and that is it involves a conversation that's unusual, it's compassionate, it's courageous, and it's powerful. And this kind of a question asked by us, to us, across the kitchen table over a cup of coffee, what do you want God to do for you? Is a really powerful coaching question. I hope you'll ponder it, journal about it, discuss it, pray about it. And I'm just wondering, what are you thinking? What are your questions? You probably have some pushback. You may not be so sure that I'm reading this right. How do you read it? I'd love to hear. Reach out to me at coaching@getyourbusinessdone.com or leave a comment here on the YouTube channel. And you know what? My takeaway for you is give yourself permission to ask, seek, knock, pray, dream, and exceedingly abundantly beyond all that you can ask or even imagine. Well, that's what I've got for you. Thanks for listening to my little sermon. I'm Steve Garcia. I'm a life and leadership coach, a 31-year pastor, and I'd love you to subscribe here to my YouTube channel. Share this with someone who you think might, benefit from it, and reach out to me or to someone who loves you um, with these kinds of questions. Thanks so much for listening. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.